Little untimed stop here in the Georgia mountains. This is what we're looking at today. Just outside of Helen. I've been down this way before. Might make another stop at a waterfall that I already went to once. Might be just down the road here. Alright, enjoy the view. Woohoo! Just another note, if you look closely at a couple of those peaks there, they're very pointed. Yeah, the conspiracy theorist in me asks, could there be pyramids underneath there? Wouldn't that be something? Someday we'll know everything. Ciao. Heading up to Anna Ruby Falls. A lot of people out here. It's a beautiful day. A lot of people out here. This seems to be this whole river here. It's just little falls after falls. Bridge a little farther up. Nothing but a lot of rock. Cut out of the rock here. Way up there next to that trail. You're walking up there. We're walking up this trail. There are big trees. A hickory tree back there. Got a sign on it used for tools and furniture. A lot of trees falling into the river. A lot of big rocks. Beautiful valley here. Interesting tree here growing in between these rocks. He's a big one. Yeah, look at that. Right in between these rocks. Yeah, big rocks in here. Came around this corner noticing all this water coming down, and then all of a sudden you see a wall of water up there, way up there. Woo, goes all the way to the top of those trees. Oh boy, it is big. We're almost there. Yeah, we kind of came up the non-trail up here. All the tourists are down there. And we kind of created our own little trail here, me and this other guy. And he's up there scoping it out. He's younger than me. But that is some waterfall. Anna Ruby Falls. And then there's that little part over on the right-hand side that's about half the height. But that is one tall waterfall. I have to look that up. That's impressive. It is really coming down. There's a way to get up all the way to the top. I don't know if we'll try that today, but we'll see. Right now I'm just on the side of a mountain here, off the beaten path. We'll see how it goes. This is spectacular. Well, this is as far as I can get on this trail. Here's the top of the big falls, and I'm right level with the top of the small falls. It's a double waterfall. This is the end of this trail. And it looks like there used to be a platform here. There's some footings there and a couple pieces of wood anchored in. This used to be the platform. And you can see this is quite spectacular. You can just imagine the vortices that are being created down there energetically. That is one big waterfall. I have to look it up and see how tall it is. It is big. Absolutely spectacular. So glad I came out here. I'm gonna start heading back here, see what we can find. So after I was at Anaruby Falls, I went to another waterfalls, but there was quite the lineup to get into the state park, and I decided to turn around. I didn't go in because I was looking at the time, and I wanted to. I was going on a very big loop. It was about 4 hours in the road, and I wanted to get to here before they closed. This is the Sasquatch Museum in Blue Ridge, Georgia. And this was my last planned stop, but I spent so much time in Anaruby Falls that I had to cut out the second waterfalls and just came straight here. This is a very interesting place. Spent about an hour in here. They have some really cool videos, a lot of castings of footprints. I'll show you one, and they're huge. The footprints are twice the size of my feet. I wear a size 13. So these footprints are about 2 feet long. They're all 5 toes, and they've got some recordings that they've done, and it's just a very interesting place. One of the guys I was working with at Lowe's has had some encounters in the woods with Sasquatches. We talked about it a lot, and basically agreed that they're interdimensional beings. And some of the evidence that's in the museum shows that people would see them and they would disappear very quickly. Not phase in and out like they were on a Star Trek transporter, but they could move and just disappear very quickly. So there's some interesting things going on here, but I got a couple of pictures, and then we'll wrap this up. Thank you. So this is a casting of one of the footprints, and they had a lot of them in the museum. A lot of these casts, and this is huge. This wasn't the biggest one, but it was. It was an easy one to take a picture of. But it's a good 18 inches or so. I tried to hold my hand up to it, and it was a good, as big as two hands tall, as they would say if it was a horse. And my fingers can usually stretch about 8 inches or more. So this is a good 16, 18 inches, about a foot and a half from what I could tell. So, this one was in a case. They had them scattered around in different places, but it's really cool. Interesting place to visit. This footprint was actually, this is not a cast. This is actually where they dug up the rock. And it was sitting down on the floor of the museum. And I want to read what it says. It says, the mounting evidence for giants in our ancient past is growing every year. Huge footprints encased in what is now rock have been found in South Africa, India, the Middle East, and now the U.S. This humanoid footprint was found in South Texas by John Morris in 1995. It was found in 80-million-year-old limestone, though some would say it was laid down 4,500 years ago, just prior to Noah's flood. So now you got a lot of bad history right in that last sentence. First of all, the flood we know it was 10,500 years ago during the Younger Dryas, if anybody's ever listened to Graham Hancock go on about this, or Randall Carlson, the Younger Dryas, 10,000 to 12,000 years ago. That's when the Great Flood happened. And the fact that they just don't want to admit that the fact that this was found in 80-million-year-old limestone, but they don't want to say it's 80 million years old. Why is that? Because that would cause us to have to rewrite all the history books and more. So it's very interesting. There's one of the groups that I follow around in this in this kind of venue is Megalithomania. They're based out of the UK, and the guy who runs it, Hugh Newman, I think is his name. He wrote a book about the giants of America or something. It's called something like that. I'll have to look it up. But he went through in another one. I think his friend Jim Vieira is the other guy's name. They collected a lot of evidence from around the United States, from old newspaper clippings mostly, about giants. So that was very interesting. It was really interesting to see this. That's why it caught my eye. But the giants and Sasquatch and who knows what else is out there. But it was a fascinating hour, and I highly recommend the museum.